If you've just joined us, this is Paul. Needs no introduction from one of my favourite band of all time, ever. I said this once on stage. I introduced him on stage and I was like, I was working on, I think I was on 2FM maybe at the time, and I said, these guys, I can love these guys, my favourite band in the world ever. And Paul just said into the mic, why don't you fucking play our songs?
You have a good memory.
The Frank and Walters. And tonight they're in Newbridge for the upstairs at JRB's summer sessions. It's a stripped down acoustic gig tonight.
Yeah. I'm playing with Dylan Ho from the band Rowan, of which you'll be hearing a lot from in the future.
Rowan, check them out.
Exactly.
Check them out. We will check them out. How are you keeping?
Good. Yeah, very good. Not a bother.
How was lockdown for you? I have to ask that question first.
It was obviously difficult, I suppose like being in prison in a sense, you're locked up. But at the same time, I could kind of, I could focus on writing songs and kind of recording and stuff, my own songs and stuff. And it was a very inspirational time for me as well, because it made you reflect on life a bit more, and you just made you do a lot of kind of soul searching and thinking. So that was kind of inspirational. So I think I got a good few songs out of it. None of haven't seen the light of day yet, but they're there. So
what will be the process down with the songs? Will you just introduce them to the rest of the guys and work on them, or will you just work away on them and then bring the finished product?
Well, normally I would just bring them into the band, but we haven't had an opportunity to do it this time during kind of the lockdown. So I started to record some of them myself, because I have a studio at home with use Logic, and I've got good equipment, professional kind of standard. So I was able to just work away on them myself, just get them up and running, find tempos from, and that kind of a way.
Have you ever thought of a solo album? I don't want to cause any sort of rift. I don't want to be controversial, but lots of singers and bands go off and do their own thing, stuff that mightn't suit the band. Yeah,
but I think this stuff would suit the band. Okay. It is the Frank and Walters kind of music, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's not too much of a departure.
Well, probably hard to separate yourself from.
Yeah.
Know where Paul finishes and Frank and Walters start when it comes to writing music, I presume.
Sorry?
It's probably hard to know where, like you are very much the Frank and Walters, as in like.
Yeah. I mean, as in I am the BBC.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, it's just I write the songs, but the band is the band. I would be nothing without the band.
Paddy McAloon, he does a lot of solo stuff now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You're pushing me solo. So
trying to get a scoop here for the people in Newbridge.
Okay.
Have you been to Newbridge before? Is this your first time? I mean, it's not exactly a destination town.
It's my second time. I came here once while a friend of mine shopped in Newbridge. It's some kind of a shopping centre.
There's the Whitewater Shopping Centre, the famous Whitewater Shopping Centre,
yeah. I came here, but I couldn't go in because I don't know. It was. I
was going to say you were minding the bikes.
Yeah, we cycled up from Cork for a bit of Newbridge silver. But no, I was just. I heard it was very expensive, so I didn't bother.
I couldn't go in because I heard it was very expensive. Probably. Yeah. It can be, it can be. It's if anybody's watching, don't let that put you off coming to Newbridge.
Yeah, don't.
It's very
sorry
nice.
About that. No,
there are expensive places and less than expensive places.
Yeah.
Are you excited to get back out and playing gigs and touring and getting on the road again?
Luckily, we've done a good few gigs now in August and September, and it's probably one of the busiest September has probably been the busiest month since we've had since the early 90s. Yeah, it's been very busy. And yeah, we're delighted, you know. It's good to get out and just express yourself again, because I kind of missed it enormously. You know, the expression. I know it is expression when you perform, but when you write a song, you're expressing yourself at that moment, and it's kind of it's I suppose it's you're trying to express new feelings, you know, in writing. But when you come up on stage, you're going through all the feelings that you had gone through in the last 20 or 30 years. And for me, when I do a gig and relive those kind of feelings, I kind of find it therapeutic. Do you know, it kind of I always feel brilliant after a gig. I feel kind of exhilarated or something. You know, it's just it's like therapy for me, like so. And I did miss that.
Yeah.
And it's what actually forced me into writing songs, was because I had no outlet to express myself, and I missed that kind of maybe once a week or something like that, where I would play a gig. I missed that kind of therapy, you know, and I had to then just go and write songs to get that feeling, you know, get that kind of circulating in my soul or my body again, you know.
There's a buzz. There must be something that happens to the negative ions or something. There must be some sort of like chemical reaction that happens in your body when you do something like that.
I think it is, yeah. Well, I don't wish to sound kind of pretentious, but in truth, it is a spiritual experience for me, singing, you know, and performing music. You know, you know, you just tap down into your soul, and you know, you connect with your soul, and you just it's a beautiful thing.
You
know?
bare your soul and you're vulnerable, and then you're rewarded for being vulnerable. Aren't you? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right there.
Did you suffer at all with before you start? Like, was there a period in lockdown where you were like, I'm not going to survive? You know, were you when you started writing, then you were like, oh, this is what I need to do to kind of keep the head straight, to keep.
Yeah, well, I was always writing anyway, you know, but I think lockdown made me even focus it on it more, and it kind of just made me kind of knuckle down and dig deep, you know.
Yeah.
Like, whereas, you know, I suppose in recent years, I suppose, you know, I was living a happy life, you know, and I think sometimes when life is going good, you can write happy songs, but sometimes you need to dig down deep and just get to the core of the matter, and that's when you kind of you know, come up with things that are, I don't know, serious, I suppose, serious, and it's hard to kind of put words on it.
Well, it's like you said, you're digging deep, aren't you? You're sort of like you're hitting the good stuff, kind of.
Yeah,
yeah, I
think so.
A rich vein.
Yeah, well, it's almost like when you start out in a band, you really try really hard, you know, and you know, there's a lot of effort goes into the writing the songs. It was kind of similar to that, you know, whereas you know, for years you go by and you're moved every now and then, and you write a song about something that moves you, but because lockdown was such a serious thing, that I was just moved in a continuous kind of way, you know.
So you mentioned the early 90s and when you started out.
Yeah.
So when I was a young lad in Newbridge here, we used to meet out the back of a place called Cooper's Lane and drink Buckfast, and a few of us used to sing Fashion Crisis at the top of our lungs before we headed off to Nijinsky's for a dance, probably dancing to the Frank and Walters. It was great for us to see people that we looked up to, bands that we liked, because I mean, obviously there was a sort of a scene in that, like we had the Stone Roses, and we had like sort of shoegazy bands, indie bands, that kind of like area. I mean, Ireland had U2 and we had the Waterboys, and we you know, all these other, but for us, we were into the Converse and the flannel shirts and the longer hair and all that kind of stuff. So it was great for us at that stage to see a band like you guys from Ireland, from Cork, you know, going over to England and mixing it with the big lads, you know. So I just wanted to tell you that. That's not a question. How was it for you at that time in the 90s?
It was, well, we got lucky. We got a record deal and stuff, and it was kind of a bit overwhelming because we didn't expect it, you know. The success was kind of just a bit much for us at the time, but we enjoyed it. We enjoyed a lot of it, you know. But the fame part was a bit too much. They were great times. In fairness, we had playing all the big festivals and and everything else that went with it.
The madness.
Yeah, the
circus. I suppose just to see it, even just to experience it.
Yeah, and I suppose we kind of travelled a lot of, the world, kind of going to other countries, and we were always waiting for someone to come along to us and kind of say, lads,
tap you on the shoulders.
Yeah, the game is up, lads.
The gig is up.
The game is up. We always thought that we were kind of like we weren't very talented, and it was just a kind of a joke that the record company was playing on us, just to kind of like let the lads think that they're great there. we were kind of always waiting to be called into the office and kind of said, lads, it was a ball hop.
I hope you enjoyed it. Jesus, it could be further from the truth, I mean.
Yeah, but that's the way we thought.
You wrote songs that people bought and you got into the charts. And
but we thought that was all a ball hop.
You were like, it wasn't like Louis Walsh was going around in the van buying up your CDs. You know what I mean? That wasn't the situation at all.
Yeah.
You were my favourite boy band anyway.
Oh, thanks.
But I loved it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And do you think then, as time went on, you found a level at which you could enjoy being a band, playing songs, writing songs, and then kind of doing your own thing and a little bit of anonymity? Was that kind of what?
Yeah. It was. It was kind of. We're just very happy to be not too famous,
Yeah.
Because I just when you're famous, it's kind of like it just makes you feel self-conscious a bit. Like if you're in a restaurant or something like that, and you're eating a bit of food, and you're kind of wondering, like someone's just pointing over to you, and you'll be thinking, "Oh, sugar," but you also get what I called positive paranoia, where you think people are looking at you, but they're actually not. You know what I mean? And you think you're brilliant, you think you're famous, but you're actually not.
It's good for the soul. But you say hello to people just in case you do actually know them, and they're not just saying hello to you because they recognise you.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
What I found a bit funny was that, like, you kind of felt that when you got off the stage, you felt that you had to still entertain people, and not be yourself. I mean, stage is one performance, but just being who you are is a different one, and trying to separate out the two of them is kind of difficult. So when you come off the stage and you're talking to people and you feel you have to entertain them, and it's kind of tiring. It's like you're on stage all the time, and eventually for me anyway, I just accepted who I was, just just a normal bloke. And I decided, just be boring, and not to try and entertain people.
Yeah.
When I met them, and I just said, the effort is too much. It's not great for your ego to realize that you are just a normal person, and in many ways kind of boring. But I've learned to accept that. That's who I am, and I learned to, just to be that person,
It's a better place to be, though, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
The other way is far too tiring. Like, you can't give me, you can't be entertaining all the time.
No, jeez. And like the thing about you guys is, whenever I meet you, like your instinct is to crack the jokes and be the, you know.
But I think we get on though. I think we have a kind of chemistry.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah.
Both physical as well.
I thought it was just me.
No, it's me.
I didn't want to say anything. Right, we have to go chat backstage. So have you plans? Have you stuff recorded that you're going to release, or have you plans to release, or are you just going to wait and see, or have you anything coming up that people should look forward to? I mean, I'm sure you are as prolific. You've always been prolific, so I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I've hundreds of songs. Just a matter of just finding time to finish them off and see what happens. Do you know, I'm kind of in no rush. Do you know, to kind of to record and release them. Like, do you know.
I was listening to a song. It was a Christmas song you wrote. Forgive me now, but I can't remember the name. But the video,
song for a future love.
Yeah, and the video, there's a robin in it. Yeah,
that's right.
There's a line in it that something happened and it made you think of Hank Williams.
Yeah.
What's that line?
It's
and what
like, it was all I could think of was Hank Williams. Yeah, hang on. All I could think of was Hank Williams. I can't think of it now. And everything that he'd been through.
And everything that he'd been through.
Yeah.
Because struck me as a bit of a sad song, because there was a moment where the robin was singing to you. There's a line in it where the robin was singing to you.
Yeah.
And on the screen it comes up, after all. So obviously the robin was singing after all, and you were like...
Exactly, yeah.
And was that the link to Hank Williams, like that he couldn't survive, and am I just making stuff up here? He couldn't survive in the limelight, or...
Yeah, well, I think it was just the song was about loneliness and about, you know, kind of song for a future love. It's like you're writing a letter to the next person that you meet who's going to be your love, and you kind of just think. Well, I just thought, like, I remember writing the song. I think I was had broken up, you know, with a girlfriend or something like that, and just I suppose a bit heartbroken. And just a bit lonely, and I just thought, like, Hank Williams he seemed to be the man, like who was like one of the loneliest men on earth or something, you know. So I just thinking, all I could think of was Hank Williams and all that he'd be through, because he was an alcoholic, and he seemed to suffer, like, you know.
He died just in the back seat.
Was that happening?
Coming back from a gig, being driven back from a gig, and he just passed away, and you know, mad.
I like that song. Is it? I'm so lonesome I could cry. Is it? Yeah, and that the whole thing about his song about. Was it? Have you heard the Robin sing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you ever heard Robin sing? That. So that kind of that's where the Hank Williams thing came in.
It's good. I liked it. Yeah. I like Hank Williams, so I was just curious as to why you mentioned him.
Yeah.
Listen, thanks for talking to me, and
thanks, Keith.
Thanks for coming to Newbridge, and you'll have to come back and play Judge Roy Bean's upstairs at JRB's again. It's a lovely little stage.
It's lovely. I love the vibe here. And the gig was amazing. We had a great gig tonight. I didn't break sweat or anything.
You haven't done it yet. The gig hasn't happened yet.
Oh, hasn't it?
No.
Sorry.
It's the old age.
Oh, sorry about that.
Senility.
Is this live? Is it?
we have to go now, but thanks, Paul, and thanks for coming. And
thanks a minute.
God knows I hurt you, but knows I hurt me too. What was I supposed to do? God knows I need you, but knows I need me too. What was I supposed to do? While London Bridge keeps trees falling down. Wall Street wears the saddest frown. They call out to Her Majesty to watch an old Greek tragedy. That was the day before our love went away, before our dreams went on hold. The story stopped being told. That was the day before it all turned to grey. The cogs of industry seemed, the world was down on its knees. God knows I love you, but knows I had to choose. What was I supposed to do? I was a shipwreck, was lost out in the blue. What was I supposed to do? The goddess of Athena wept, her country spiraled into death. The tale Euripides had told was getting ready to unfold. That was the day before our love went away, before our dreams went on hold. The story stopped being told. That was the day before it all turned to grey. The cogs of industry seemed, the world was down on its knees.